Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We start with a live look outside over Golden from Lookout Mountain at this hour, and it just looks hot. This gives very hot vibes this morning at only 8 o'clock on a Sunday, but the temp's already in the mid 70s and rising. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles. We are talking heat again. I know you're getting tired of this, so are we, but it's going to be like real hot today and tomorrow. Let's send things right over to Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Jaden Knowles. We're talking like you're putting out alerts. We got advisories. This is serious heat. Yeah, we do. We have a weather impact alert for this afternoon because of the heat, Jenny. We have 102 forecasted as the high today. And guess what? That's going to continue as we head into your Monday as well. But getting you out the door, getting your day started, we're in the low 70s as well as the upper 70s, 78 degrees at the airport, 77 here in downtown Denver. Statewide, I mean, really a nice and beautiful start to the morning. The low 70s for the eastern plains, upper 70s for the western slope. But the next 7 days, I mean, really heating up, especially as we head into tomorrow. 101 is what's in my forecast. So if you plan on playing some tennis out there, definitely bring the water and the Gatorade, the electrolytes, because it is going to be a pretty hot one. But then noticing as we head into your Tuesday, some cooler temperatures. We are tracking a cold front Monday night into Tuesday. So that's going to give us some relief and maybe some rain chances as well. So fingers crossed about that. But here's another birthday shout out to Diane. She's turning 81 and she also is an Oklahoma fan. So happy about that. Happy birthday to you, Diane King. And overall, later on in my show, we'll talk more in detail about what to expect as we start this next week. Jenny? Oh, she knows the way to your heart, doesn't she, Jaden? Once again, heat advisory from the National Weather Service has prompted the city of Denver to open cooling centers. Homeless advocates say the city's response still leaves people who live outside with not enough resources to escape the heat. So the city's going to open all operating Denver rec centers as cooling centers today, but only 8 of the 22 rec centers in Denver will actually be open. The other 14 are closed. Those 8 will all close by 4 p.m. Pretty hot time of the day. Advocates for the homeless say the city should be responding to this hot weather the same way they respond to cold weather activation by opening up an emergency shelter.
They shouldn't just be an afterthought, right, where they are told they can use a rec center that closes in the heat of the day. And when that severe activation happens in the winter, there's a certain number of things that happen. Dedicated shelters are open. The notification goes out by text.
Advocates are also asking the city to pause encampment sweeps and allow people to stay in shaded areas without being moved. We reached out to the city for comment this weekend. They say they do have a year-round severe weather plan. The cooling centers are a part of that. They did not say whether they have plans to open an emergency shelter for the severe heat this weekend. The Denver Zoo is going to change their hours ahead of the high heat. Today and tomorrow they open an hour early, opening their doors right now at 8 o'clock until 4 p.m. There will be no timed entry reservations for this day. Outdoor animal demonstrations and several other attractions like the railroad, they will close those by noon. This is the third time the zoo has had to adjust their hours for heat this summer. 4 people are recovering after a stabbing last night. This one happened around 6 o'clock on the 5100 block of North Sherman. Denver police found 4 people in a home. None had life-threatening injuries. They have arrested a suspect. DPD says this was a family disturbance. And a teenager has died after a shooting in Aurora last night. Aurora police responded to that shooting on East Alabama Drive just before 10:30. Officers say they found the girl with a gunshot wound and took her to the hospital where she died. Police do have a suspect in custody. They say that's also a minor, and there is an ongoing investigation. Also last night, 4 people are displaced from a home after a garage fire in Aurora. Aurora firefighters and police responded out to that fire in the 14,000 block of East Baltic Place. That's near Iliff and Peoria. It took crews about an hour to get the fire under control. Nobody got hurt, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. This weekend, the community honored a fallen firefighter with a public memorial in Grand Junction yesterday. Nathan Matthews died several weeks after he was injured in a burnover that killed 3 other firefighters, Emily Barker, Nick Hutcherson, and Sydney Watson. They were all fighting together what was then known as the Knowles Fire, but later became part of the Snyder Fire.
And let's honor Nate, his courage, his bravery, his sacrifice. And let's remember him. Not for how he served, but for how he lived, boldly, bravely, with no quit in him. And as someone who treated life itself as an adventure worth giving everything to. I'm forever grateful for you. Rest easy, Nate.
My experience with Nate in his final weeks taught me that even during the hardest fight of your life, you can stay true to who you are. He still had immense courage and that scrappy tenacity we could all use a little more of. He showed me how much crew bonds and support really matter, and how to find a little humor even in the hardest moments.
Matthews is now the 5th firefighter to die fighting wildfires in Colorado this year. He was 43 years old. A bar along Colfax had a really rough night Friday after a deluge of rain that came in really fast and made a real mess. The Squire Lounge on Colfax took on 3 feet of water in their basement during Friday night's storm. First, the bartender noticed water upstairs, but when he went downstairs, it was worse. The owner says a foundational wall collapsed and the walk-in cooler's compressor was totally submerged. He told 9 News he lost 30 kegs in that flood.
We have everything off the ground because we're used to flooding. So everything is 6 inches off the ground. And in 22 years, I've never had a problem with anything getting wet 6 inches off the ground. And then this is 3 feet.
Despite the damage, the Squire Lounge is staying open and says they'll sell canned beer while they continue to clean up.